Okay, so what do the Academy Awards, the Nobel Peace Prize, and the Pulitzer Prize all have in common? Well, basically, they're all less important than the Blueprint Men's Grooming Awards. This is Blueprint by Adam Hurly. I'm Adam Hurly. I have been writing for men's titles like GQ, Men's Journal, Rob Report for over a decade. Blueprint is where I put all of that together for you. It's now where I shout out some of my all-time favorite products for you. Of the thousands of things I have ever received and tested and recommended, these are some of the things that I would spend my own money on if I was left to my own devices. The first one I want to talk about is the absolute best beard trimmer in the game. It is the Philips Norelco Multigroom 9000, which they have renamed to the All-in-One Trimmer 9000 series, but I still endearingly call it the Multigroom. One thing that is extremely impressive about this device, I already had one of them, but I was testing a brand new one for a Forbes vetted review of all the beard trimmers that were sort of best in class. And when I got this new one and plugged it in and charged it, it lasted for 17 hours on a full charge. Now the brand will advertise 6 hours, I believe, and they're not going to advertise that much more than that because they're not going to set false expectations in the wrong way, but they definitely undersold the muscle that this battery has. Right now there are 4 classes of this device. There's the 3000, 5000, 7000, and the 9000. The difference between the 9000 and the 7000, there aren't a ton of them except for the fact that you get dedicated shaving heads with the 9000. This little foil shaver, and I use it to like mine all the finer details when I'm trimming down. There's also a body shaving device that only comes with the 9000. You get this stainless steel body. It's fully waterproof. You have up to 19 different trimming lengths on this one. And on this attachment, you have all the minutia in 0.2 millimeter intervals. So you can go from a 1 all the way up to a 3. And then you can graduate from the 3 in 1 millimeter increments up to the 7 on this one. You also have a T-blade trimmer for easy lineups, for easy necklines and whatnot. I absolutely love this detailing little tooth that it has, and I can get little fine details around my facial hair when I use that. It's also good at just snipping the random stray on your cheek, or if you've grown out your beard and you need to just finesse it. Philips Norelco, I adore this product. All right, the next product on my list is my absolute favorite face wash. It is Cardon's Purifying Clay Cleanser. Cardon is one of the best brands you can get for your entire baseline skincare regimen. I do talk about them a lot in a dedicated video I have about the baseline skincare routine that you can build. However, I think this is their hero product. It is so soft, but also so effective. I am a sucker for texture, especially something with like pillowy, soft marshmallow texture. The fact that they use 3 different types of clay. Yeah, they use bentonite, kaolin, and I never say that, kaolin, and Moroccan clay. And the trio of those things is so purifying on my skin, but never like dehydrating. They're actually quite nourishing ingredients too. So it's sort of like great for oily skin like mine, but also I think if you had dry skin, normal, combination skin, any of those things, you would see a lot of benefits from using this. It's also great as a little instant face mask if you want to just let it dry on for a few minutes before rinsing it away, if you're super oily or acne prone. But I also am somebody who washes his face sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. Like I wash in the morning, and then if I work out in the middle of the day, if I get super sweaty, I'll wash in the middle of the day and then at night. And this isn't something that we're normally recommending that guys do. It is best to try to stick with 2 times max if you can. However, if you are going to be a frequent washer for whatever reason, I think this is the absolute perfect product. It is so soft on skin, it is so kind to your skin, but it's so effective as a cleanser too. And the texture, do not even get me started on it. Cardon, A+. Okay, the next one, very similar vessel as the last one. This is Happy Nuts. It is their comfort cream. It's a cheeky name, but in speaking of cheekiness, this is great for keeping yours dry, free of chafing and swamp crotchiness, This product is used by both of us in this house every single day. We go through lots of this in a year, especially in the summer, especially on vacation, especially if we're just like, honestly, even if we're just sitting in place all day and we don't want to stand up and feel disgusting, you can bet that this is on our undercarriage and in between our thighs. I have a whole video going up on swamp crotch and chafing and ways to mitigate that, and whether or not antiperspirant is safe to use in that area. You can catch that on this channel. But this product, I am recommending left, right, and center to people. It is so terrific. Its key ingredient is tapioca starch along with aloe. So together you get this really soothing base. And then the tapioca starch, it is a little chalky. So you want to make sure that when you're applying it, you're not like touching your t-shirt or maybe your dark pants afterwards. Be careful with your hands and wash them because that chalkiness can transfer. But what it's doing is it's putting this powdery coat on your skin so that it absorbs the moisture, it reduces friction, it prevents your thighs from just like mincing each other. It is such a game changer, and it has made my life so much easier in the last 5 or so years. It is an absolute perfect product. So happy nuts. They have a ton of really great products. Like they have a rub-on balm, they have powders, they have great pubic hair trimmers and more. I really adore this brand. I think you can get them at Target now, but they're available on Amazon very readily too. All right, the next one up is the first fragrance that I'm giving a blue ribbon to. This is a brand that I'm going to be talking about a lot, as well as a founder that I'll talk about a lot and a perfumer I'll talk about a lot. This is Arquiste. This fragrance is called Misfit. It's an eau de parfum. The perfume architect and the brand owner behind Arquiste is Carlos Huber, and one of his go-to perfumers that he works with on the majority of his scents is Rodrigo Flores Roux, a master perfumer at Givaudan. And these two guys are masterminds. So the reason I've chosen Misfit for this spot is, well, you can see the bottle is half gone. And for somebody who receives hundreds of fragrances a year and has, you know, probably near 500 just stocked up and ready to smell whenever I have to write an article or choose what I'm going to wear for the day, this is one of them that I go to the most often. It is a patchouli scent. It is so beautiful. It's sophisticated but sexy, but perfect enough just to like wear to the office if you want. The profile of Misfit is a woody amber. Its keynotes are patchouli, ambrette, tonka bean. There's a freshness that you get from lavender in there too. This is that scent where if I'm wearing it, inevitably that day somebody will ask me, what am I wearing? Where can I get it? It will also be in my video on the top 10 signature scents for good reason. I've really embraced Misfit as my signature. They are a very fitting winner of a Blueprint Grooming Award from us. Next up is this fantastic moisturizer from PrettyBoy. This is their hero product that they launched with. I have all eyes on PrettyBoy. I am so tuned in to everything that they're doing. They just launched an exceptional gel cleanser that is so hydrating and could also be on this list. But the Revival Moisturizer, as soon as I started talking about this in some articles and posting about it, I kid you not, I had multiple friends tell me I also bought, like before I even recommended it, they bought it and they were telling me like quicker than any product I've ever written about. They were saying, I bought that, I love it. So PrettyBoy, aptly named, this will have your skin just looking and feeling its absolute best. If you're somebody who wants a minimal regimen, like you want to use the same moisturizer in the day and in the evening, here's your single product solution for that. This one has the eczema seal of approval, which is major. That means that if you have inflammatory skin, it has been sanctioned by the top board who oversees the products and said that this is a great moisturizer for you to use on a daily basis. The key ingredients in this one are super jacked up doses of hyaluronic acid, glycerin, squalane, and niacinamide. Most of those are going to provide super hydration for the skin, just flooding it with moisture. That high dose of niacinamide is going to reinforce your skin's barrier. It's going to reduce inflammation. Speaking of skin barrier fortification, this one is also chock full of ceramides, which are just going to keep your skin super strong, keep the bad stuff out, keep the moisture locked in that you're getting from all the other ingredients. They were really smart to call it Revival because if your skin is suffering, this thing can turn you around in a heartbeat. Moreover, we go through this thing relatively quickly because we both use it in this household. I'm on the more oily and combination side of things. My partner's more dry and sensitive, and we both get incredible results from this one. It is light enough for someone like me, but it is effective enough for someone like him. There are a few things I think that can wear as light and work as heavy as this one, and I am so excited for whatever this brand does. We gave them a GQ Grooming Award for this guy right off the bat, and I'm sure that's not the last one they're going to be receiving, because they are going to launch an incredible line of products. Keep an eye on them. Bet on blue. That's what we're doing. They get a Blueprint Grooming Blue Ribbon Award. Hey, if you've made it this far and you are enjoying the video and you want more grooming content, you can subscribe to our newsletter. There's a link in the description below, or you can go to grooming.tips and sign up there. Okay, the next product, well, I'll give you two versions of the same product, but this is a hand sanitizer, but it is so much better than the one you're using, I promise you. This is from Dr. Bronner's. I personally love the peppermint. I get the peppermint everything from them, the liquid soap, the physical soap. I've even used the toothpaste. We use the hand soap that exfoliates, the body lotion. I am so enamored with Dr. Bronner's peppermint line. However, we also use the lavender one here in this house. These are the two that they sell, the only two that they use. These ones both use essential oil, obviously peppermint and lavender. They are a 62% alcohol formula, all organic alcohol. So they are above the 60% level that the CDC recommends a hand sanitizer be. However, they also use some glycerin in the formula, so you get this really non-dehydrating cleanse of your hands. If we take the garbage out and have to touch the communal dumpster that we all dump our garbage on my street, like, I want to sanitize my hands the second I do that before I get home and start touching the doorknobs. If I'm going to the grocery store, self-checkout and touching the computer screens, everyone around me is coughing and wheezing. I cannot be too careful. So we always have this everywhere we go. It's in our bag or in our pocket or something. This is an essential product. And above all, it just never leaves our skin feeling dry, and it smells incredible. Again, I am a sucker for the peppermint, but I could understand why some people might prefer the lavender more than anything. And it is one that we pay for readily on our own. It looks like our lavender one is from Germany. Bio Lavendel, Hand Hygiene Spray, antibacterial and antiviral, zertifiziert, Fairtrade zertifiziert. Okay. All right. Next on my list of Blueprint Grooming Award winners is a deodorant, and it's not a stick deodorant like you might be used to, but it is actually a deodorant balm. This is from AKT. They have 6 different deodorant balms. 5 are scented, 1 is unscented. My favorite is this one. It's the number 4. It's the one that's in this like teal or dark cyan type bottle. This one is called Halcyon Summers. What I love about all these is they're deliciously scented. I'm somebody who uses a lot of aluminum packed antiperspirants. I'm always going to, so it takes a lot for me to appreciate a deodorant. And I have to say that one of the reasons I really started loving this is because my partner loves it so much. He doesn't use antiperspirant. He was a little reticent, like most people, to switch from a traditional stick or spray deodorant just because of familiarity. You know how you want certain textures to have certain tastes? Like, you want a pizza to have the texture of a pizza. You don't want it to have the texture of like crunchy cereal, right? There's certain tastes that are assigned to certain textures, and I think deodorant we assign to like certain application types. Well, anyway, with this, you just have to get used to rubbing it in. It is so effective. It has such an incredible formula. This one has arrowroot powder, shea butter, sunflower seed oil, zinc oxide, and calendula all in it. So you get this really soothing, drying, but not dehydrating, calming formula. I know that these guys who made this, when they were getting started, they were crafting it in their kitchen and making hundreds of different recipes just to get it right. They are dancers from London's West End, basically the Broadway equivalent of the UK. They just knew a lot about building up a sweat and needing to control it. And this is the product that they have launched, which recently launched in the US to much fanfare. We did give them a GQ Grooming Award. My partner has gone through basically all 5 scents in the year that we've owned this. And so we just restocked, and we got the unscented one for the first time too. Here's evidence that we're using it. This is an older one we have, but you can see how the key fits in there. Make sure you get every drop. Okay, next up is the Co-Wash from Geologie. There are two of these. This one is the cooling one. It's more for fine hair. And then this one is the smoothing one, and that's for more thick hair. Geologie to me is one of the most exciting brands in this space right now. I think they keep coming out with really incredible function forward products that most men are going to find really appealing. This is evidence of that. You know, we do a lot of messaging in this industry around not overwashing your hair or shampooing too much. However, it can kind of be annoying to let the oil build up or to let the product accumulate in your hair without a proper thorough rinse through. So even though water can rinse out the majority of it, sometimes it can help to have a really, really conditioning, lightly cleansing product to do that flushing for you without blanching your scalp. And that's where a co-wash comes in. So you can think of this as like an extremely conditioning wash. It's kind of like the good version of the 2-in-1 shampoo conditioners that we've seen before that are really more shampoo than they are conditioner. This flips the script. And the reason that I think these ones are so incredible is, for one, the fact that they have two different options. I have really thick hair, so I stick with the smoothing one because it ensures that on my non-wash days, I still get the closure of my hair cuticles and it keeps my hair smooth and prevents frizzing in the process. My partner Andre, on the other hand, he has really fine hair, so he benefits much more from this cooling hair wash. Also, I benefit from this one too because I have a fairly oily scalp. So the tea tree in this one I find has some like oil tempering properties. But I would say that the smoothing one is probably a little too heavy for his fine hair. I've tried a lot of co-washes over the years, and it's been really hard for me to find a reason to endorse them to a lot of male users. I do think that if you have really, really short hair, that you can get by with just your run-of-the-mill shampoo conditioner at a low cost. But I think if you have mid-length to long hair, having a co-wash is really essential for the days that you aren't going to shampoo and you might not need even a full conditioner. It's just like this perfect middle ground. And to me, this is the one that I have found that works absolutely above and beyond better than the rest. Two of the hero ingredients in both of them are squalane and panthenol, so you get this really nourishing and hydrating effect that you would expect from a conditioning product. In the smoothing one in particular, it also has coconut oil and avocado oil, so you're getting some extremely nourishing properties on your thick or coarse strands. So it is a godsend for me. I would say I'm using this every third day. I'm shampooing and conditioning one day. I'm probably using just a conditioner on the second day, and then I'm using this co-wash on the third day. And I know that can start to sound like a lot of different things, but keep in mind I'm using those things all less than I would if I was doing them every single day. So it can just become like a little bit more of an upfront cost. But yeah, I think if you're looking for some innovation in your hair wash cycle and you don't want to parch those strands every single day, Geologie's Co-Wash is a godsend. The next product is one I did pay for myself. This is a brand that is near and dear to me. When I started as a grooming editor, I was at the company Birchbox. I don't know if you remember them, but I was on the men's side. I was one of the men's editors. And we sold Hanz to Fuko. They were only like 4 or 5 years old at that point. And here I am looking at this product. It is Quicksand from them. All of their hairstylers are so interesting because they feel like these never before been invented type products. They're all like a hybrid of something, or they're taking your idea of a pomade or a wax or a clay and they're remixing it just ever so slightly into something that is really profound and interesting. And Quicksand is definitely that. It is part hair wax, part dry shampoo. It has the most bizarre gritty texture. That is because of diatomaceous earth. I need to make sure I'm saying that pronunciation. Diatomaceous earth.
Diatomaceous earth.
Yeah, I was saying it correctly. And here's the British one.
Diatomaceous earth.
Diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth. It uses that to create a dry shampoo effect. So diatomaceous earth is going to absorb some of the oils from your scalp, help lift up your hairs. Basically, that is what a dry shampoo does. But in this case, it is also really, really gritty and you can feel it in your hair. So it's not a product I would use in my length of hair that I have right now. It's really, really good for shorter or medium length styles. I probably would stop using it after my hair was like a couple inches long. It gives me the most insane texture and volume and movement. My hair becomes 18 different dimensions when I use it. It's not a product you want to use every single day. You really definitely have to shampoo it out after you use it, or you're going to be feeling it in your hair a day or two later. But it does give you that lift, and the wax in it really gives you the hold and the definition. It is high hold. It is a dry matte finish. This makes me want to cut my hair so badly. By the time we cut this video, I might even have short hair, and maybe there's some B-roll of me applying it into that hair. So I don't know. If you're seeing that right now, then that's exactly what happened. Next on the list of inaugural Blue Ribbon Award winners is another brand that I feel quite endeared to. This is one that reached out to me when they were relatively new. They had just been on Shark Tank and were starting to blow up a little bit. The company is Supply, and this is their single edge razor. It is basically a single edge safety razor that makes it so easy if you are considering converting from a cartridge razor that many of us learn how to shave on over to a safety razor. You know, I think a safety razor, it's actually much more easy to use than you might think, the double-sided one that is more common. But this just has the familiarity of a cartridge razor and still gives you the proximity of that kind of shave with a single blade. I find it so easy to use. It's so easy to talk about this, to convert people over to safety razor shaving, which is my favorite way to shave. Let's cut to some B-roll here because we're making a shaving video in a couple days, and so you can see what I look like when I'm using it. Supply does have this easy mechanism that helps you load the blade and discard and recycle the blades. So take advantage of that. You probably won't experience any nicks or cuts when you're swapping out the blade. It's a very easy device to use. And I find it very sensitive on skin. As somebody who, I'm probably shaving like, I don't know, maybe once every couple months down to a bare face for whatever reason, maybe to test products or there's a certain event. But this one gets a lot of mileage from me. The brand founder did sell the brand recently, and now that they've got all this funding, they are launching a bunch of other shave products, skincare products. So it's really exciting to see them continue to grow. All right, that does it for 10 of my absolute favorite grooming products. I'm gonna do a handful of these. I do wanna populate my site with all of my favorite products. I hope that you found a new product or two that you love. If you use any of these products and love them, or I don't know, if you hate them, I'm open to that feedback. Leave a comment below. If there's a product that you absolutely love with as much fervor as I love these ones, leave that one below too. Remember to please like this video, share it, subscribe to our channel for more. Links to all the products are below. You can also go to grooming.tips to sign up for the newsletter there, as well as for a bevy of grooming content. Thank you for stopping by. We'll see you later.